comes with obedience. It's not just about faithfulness. And I don't want to give you a lot of theology. I know you are learned. You are here. Some are doctors, lawyers. Others are here studying physics. Some are studying very good things. But what is faithfulness? It's simply doing right. And I know you are here learning even to lead. Some of you have never led. That way, I'm not very hard on you. But some of us have even problems in spreading their bed. That's leadership. At 5 points out of 10. But God has honored you to lead the flock, the sheep. Very sharp people, better than you. Some of them are more anointed. When they come here, everything vibrates around. When they sing, heavens come down. But God has honored you. You did nothing. No degree, no papers presented. But Jesus, in his own mercy, by his grace, you've been given a position to lead the church. Be a faithful servant. Serve the Lord. Simply do right. With information, do you know when you attend some meetings as a leader, you are told, whatever we discuss here, it may happen. Even phones you leave. The same is with this. We were with you, Luambi, the other week at Kissy School. The head boy said something, said, in those days, the medieval ages, the church led. When you paid your tithes, you did not tax yourself. To the government, that is. You are free not to file your tax with KRA. The leader of the church was the judge. My Lord, you hear that? Church was the court. Church was everything. Church sorted out disputes in families everywhere. The church was up here. Then they followed. That's why the Catholic priests were called fathers. Church was everything to the people then. And so he said, if you are given an opportunity to lead church, you have the highest position ever on the planet Earth. At Kissy School, you are the leaders of this institution. What are you supposed to feel? Why do you doubt yourself? You know, I love the unbelieving believers. That they come here, pray for us. They are prayed for, anointed with oil, even legs laid on them, or people doing for them massage. But immediately, akienda mahali anasema, the devil really tempted me. You know, it is always following me. And you have Jesus, they are prayed for you. Unbelieving believers. And so, faithfulness is something that is required of us. It is persevering even when it is hard. Choosing to do the hard right over the easy wrong. You are young, you are among your peers. You are here as the chair. Umedunga koti yako. If you are a man, like I've seen the chair as a man, my brother, when you have this, there is authority. When you speak, there is that punch that comes out. My sisters have not sinned when they're praying with their eyes open about you. But you choose the hard right over the easy wrong. Choose the hard right over the easy wrong. You are in the counseling and compassion. Do counseling, accept everything. Have the UPR, they say, remain faithful. Because somebody comes to you when they're vulnerable, what do you do? What do you do? Now, umeona ni mzuri, God took his time to create and you're a man. And you don't have vibes, but this one has come. You know, brothers, when they think of heaven, they don't think of things down here, but we think of the things that are on the right hand of God. You must remain faithful without taking advantage of people. Whatever God gives you, if it is the word of God, do not coin it to, measure up to whatever you want it to come out. Continue to do the right thing. That's faithfulness. In spite of fear, continue doing the right thing. In spite of the results, continue doing the right thing. Be a faithful servant with your mind, the intent of the heart, and everything that revolves around you, even your hands. Judas was also in the school of Jesus ministry. He never stole, but he used to help himself with part of it. You're a student, you never earn, but when you see that money, drop a shilling you met on the way in it. That's how my father taught me. He's a religious man up to now, belonging to Dini Aroho, but that guy is faithful. He keeps for a lot of organizations money, a very big circle. He's the chair, but he tells me when you're giving money, add a shilling to it. He's very wise in his own ways. When you're going without food and you're needing this CU, trust God. Just go to the compassion and sign that paper. We used to have welfare back in Maseno then. You'd go to the class rep and say, I'm going without food. Can I sign 100 shillings? That would take you 3 days. It was nice. Mili ilikuwa 10 bob over 15. And there was no M-Pesa. In the face of danger, choose to do right. Be faithful. Remain faithful. My brothers, sometimes it is dangerous. Sometimes the result is uncertain. Sometimes it is life-threatening decision, but choose to remain faithful. Faithfulness is needed. As a servant, just remain faithful. Sometimes in that class, everyone is doing LAN or WAN. Sometimes it is limited area network or wide area network. Just remain faithful. Get your F, get your D. Today I got my results. I got my certificates, transcripts, and the letters from a degree I did in leadership, MA, from Florida Southeastern University. In the first degree, in the first course in 2016, the art of self-leadership, I got an F. Not that I failed, but I did 2 weeks class. And we were traveling. We went for fundraising. So I couldn't attend the class. But because I had registered and took more than 2 weeks, they say you cannot withdraw from the class. I withdrew. They gave me an F. But I repeated it. So they wrote in that certificate that he retook that class. And I got 4.00. That's a CR. An A-. So they wrote it somewhere else. But that F is the first one. Then down the second course, A-. Then wakasema, the art of self-leadership. He got this. Even the hours written there. So there is no cheating. When you look at it, you see, I was looking at it and saying, why would they even write this? And I repeated the course. They wrote everything. The time I took in course, and then I said, this is the true picture of what I did. I celebrate it. They even have a link to the university. Somebody can go and look how you studied. So I looked at it, tore the paper, checked it, and and say, and they write there, this is the true picture of what the student went through. Do not fear those F. If you never study, just get it. Stop using limited area network or wide area network. Say, remain faithful. Remain faithful. And when God spoke to you, my brother or sister, God has brought you to leadership. Let your yes be yes. And your no be no. Who is this God who speaks today and tomorrow he has changed? I've never seen this Bible. I'm reading it for the 37th time. But I've never seen anything change. The other one changes, but not this one. Remain faithful. Just remain faithful. Is faithfulness measured? Yes. Nehemiah says in chapter 7, I gave my brother Hanani, the castle charge, faithful than many. Meaning, notes were taken, his file was there. They went through and said, this guy is very faithful. Because of faithfulness, not being a brother, I give him to be the governor of the town. Faithfulness is needed. I had a brother, he once preached here. He's a medical doctor. They were downsizing in at Usamru Walter Reed project. But there is a guy, if he was given tissue paper, he was faithful. He goes, places them, and writes the hours. So the director then was from Northern Ireland. I used to visit him a lot. He used to be our youth director in church back in Kisumu. And that day the director said, we have to take away 2 guys. And now everyone is qualified. I want to use faithfulness as a measure. And this guy works in a very high office, procurement, the owner of all the money. But when he gets into the washroom, tissue must disappear. So the guy who was washing kept on taking notes. Every time he requests, they would say, you know, these small companies, they can know everything. But we always give you this. It used to run for this. Why this? And the jamaa anasema, mimi nasema tu kweli. Huyu jamaa akiingia hapa, huyu Lwambi akiingia hapa, nikiingia nyumba yake hakuna. And the guy said, tissue ya shilingi 8. That time. No, this guy must go. So alifanya hiyo siku watu wamekaa chini, then they say, we have nothing against anyone. We are all qualified. But because of faithfulness, we release number 1, Mr. So-and-so with an MA besides his name. Kuiba tissue. Be a faithful servant. You know, it sounds funny. But how many times are we unfaithful here? Do you know how we are unfaithful? With the gifts that God has given you. Standing bold, brave and brilliant before men and women when something is wrong. You say, wacha tu bana. Hapo wacha tu kanyagie. I did not die for men. Yes, it is okay. But this is your peer. Why don't you just tell him, hey, my friend, that is wrong? And it will stop or end there. Faithfulness is measured. And God is not calling us to do something that is impossible. Whatever God calls from us, He has deposited in us. If He says, my brother sing, He has given you a singing ministry. If He says, my brother play the keyboard, don't wait, He has given you that. If He says, my sister just dance beyond skeleton limit, shake every apparatus, just do it, He has given you that. for the Lord. If you are to lead, do leadership. If you are the secretary, keep records. Be faithful with the giftings that God has given, with the talents. If you are in the publicity, gonna do that thing. Just do it. In Focus Associates here we are led by a team from here. One of our leaders, Dominos, works here. He was faithful in CU that he made that website. And the school employed him. He's still employed here. If you know him. We have Kamothan Day. Faithfulness. They served, no one pushed them. And the VC gave them a job when he heard they were students. Faithfulness. Not that, you know, uche ananiambia wananichezea but nitawashow. Do it unto divinity. Do it unto God. You're not serving men. God requires that we be faithful because He is. God has given us everything and is there to sustain us. We decide to be faithful or unfaithful. Leave God out of it when you fail. And faithfulness is akin to obedience. Even the church, when you are told something, please do it. Just do it. Faithfulness. Everyone is a leader here. If you have Christ as Lord and Savior, you have tested Him, you are a leader. Because the Son is in you. You can testify about Him. You can tell the world, I am born again. Faithfulness. Even with your testimony. Sio unakaa huko ndani. My sisters and brothers who came here, we might come with all the baggage. We might not even have a skeleton. No testimony, no background. Nothing good to show. You have not gone to a boutique, but you pick them, as we used to say, using a stick. Say, give me that. In Greek, they used to say, Semgelot. You will go and look for that in the dictionary. But so, you might not have the best shoe, but remain faithful, and God will honor you. And for the church, respect the leadership. That is faithfulness. If you've not been given a position, respect the leadership. Even the worst leadership, be faithful to serve them. You are better than that person, remain faithful to serve him. I was just giving you the story of that man. He has called me to his home. He tells me, wewe huyu mzungu ananisumbua na maswali. Peleke JKIA. And to me, with my management, the mzungu is asking him the right question, saying, I just brought you $60,000. How do you want to manage the hospital? And he couldn't answer the question how. So he tells me, peleka huyu jamaa. I was faithful. Sikuingilia, I take him. When the guy is asking, hey, Gilax, what do you think? Can Moses? And I say, yes, he's up to the task. He's my leader. We were under him. We say, it is okay. He is the guy. I knew he was a tough guy, but I just support him because at one point, there is only one seat for one leader, not two. Remain faithful as you serve these people who are here. Serve them, and God will honor you. God will bring the same leadership that you honor to your doorstep. And it begins now. Don't wait until you get to the job. There's a good hymn that I could sing, but I'm not singing it. In Romans chapter 8, verse 32, says, He will give us graciously all we need. He who called you is faithful. He will surely do it. God will carry you, my brothers and sisters. Do not look at the past. Moses had nothing. When people asked him, he did not go to the library, but he turned to God And he walked to God saying, now see the people that you gave me to lead. Then God will tell him, go and do this. Turn to God at every point. Make a turn to him. He will carry you through. It is his work, not yours. He has called you. He who began a good work in you will bring it to completion. So remain faithful. Be a servant to the people. He rejoices when we humble ourselves and look to him. In Jeremiah, he tells Jeremiah in 32:41, I will rejoice in doing them good, and I will plant them in this land in faithfulness. That is God. I will plant them in faithfulness. That is, even the doubt will come to pass. God will honor you. Honor leadership. As one leading, honor it. As one being led, honor leadership. The leadership of the Holy Spirit in you, honor leadership. Jesus is very tender. When you go to him broken, he will show you the way. We had visitors, Lumbinos. Even as I finish, the car that was bought for that journey, that deal with Bishop from Bomet, 3 weeks old, we lost the engine. But in the record command up to now. New vehicle. So mine had an issue. And Bishop's was not there. So we told me, drive me to Kisumu. Said, gari yangu itafika. And it went faster. Tutumie hii. Then tumekana yeye. And he said, let us talk to this car. We talked to the car. As we come back, he tells me, we were in the ones who minister to the pastors. I went. I ministered. When he came, I did not give him the notes or tell him what was happening because it was not captured live. He picked from where I left. We went to Yugi's and he told me, wewe toka saa 10 as I go to the airport. Na hii gari ingine wewe fika Eldoret saa 3 uanze ku minister, you will find the students ready. So I get there, I wait for them. 2 sessions, nikachapa ministry. They come in the evening, they pray. God worked. The next day, in the parking, napata engine in a leak. So I told him, engine in a leak. He said, we have to talk to that car, stop it. He said, I'm faithful. Saa 10 tunakuja, we are coming to minister at Kisi School. We drove 2 hours, 15 minutes. That car with leaking, haiku leak. Paka nimefika kwa parking, nikaanza kutoa drops. He told me, you did not complain. Kaniwacha meenda. Another week of busy ministry in Kisumu, we used the same car. No mechanic. Nimeenda, when it was looked, wameangalia engine, wakaniuliza, hii unakimbia na hii kitu? Nikasema mpaka saa hizi nimechapa over 2,000 kilometers. Hawajaweka seals, but wanatengeneza mguu. Faithfulness as a servant is required. Young people, be faithful. In this little one that the Lord has given you, remain faithful. Read at your own time in 1 Samuel chapter 12, verse 1 to 7. He was faithful. And he says, he gives his own testimony at the end of his life as a proof of being faithful. Akasema, je, nimewahi iba from anyone? Did I even take an ox? No. And the men say, no wife taken, nothing taken, this. Remain faithful. Do not use your position for personal gains. Do not use it to settle scores as a servant of God. You have the biggest church, more than bishops in town. Do you know you need one of the biggest churches in town? Nani anahubiria hii? Wewe tunatembea na wewe. Nobody in this town. The biggest church here is Deliverance, and it is not even 500-seater church. Do not use it for personal gains. Kama Mungu hajaongea, just walk to a sister and say, for me, you are very beautiful and I think you should be my girlfriend. Do not bring God into it. Do not. Just be plain. Be plain. If you are struggling with an issue of life, just kneel down and say, friends, I'm humble, I'm broken, I'm struggling with a sin in my life. You're not weak. Just come here. And God will lift you. And His anointing will be upon you. Just break. You know, what is there? Your peers, among your peers, there is no maturity. Whether you are a leader or not, there is no maturity. Just humble yourself. Say, mimi nateseka na hii. Macho yangu nasindikiza. And I'm a leader. I'm a sister, but I can't see Joseph's and triceps. Remain faithful to be helped. Sama hii nguo ni ndogo na miguu hii, sasa siwezi toa. And God will honor you. God will help you. Some of the things don't need prayers. Hakuna maombi. Just remain faithful. No one, hata ulete prophet in the lineage of Elijah will never help you. Whether we come with oil to mwage, that will never help you. Whether we come with prophetic messages, ni wewe utasema, God deliver me here. Jesus went to Jerusalem, Nazareth. Nothing happened, but he said, if this was elsewhere, hundreds and thousands would have been delivered, saved, would have been anointed in a way, meaning there was an aspect of faith from them, not him. This is a church. I know you're believers. Deliver yourself from some of the things. Remain faithful. Kama shida iko, sema tu shida iko. And hiyo ime solve everything. Kama una pesa, sema tu pesa ndi hakuna. Because you are not earning, it is okay. If you are seeing beauty, just say it is beauty. And we know how to help you. If you are seeing nightmares, just say, we will lay hands on you and the demons will leave you. And the anointing of the Holy Spirit